Hey guys, today on People Now, Nicki Minaj is married. We'll tell you everything we've learned.
We've got all the details about Kim Kardashian-West's $1 million birthday gift. Yes, $1 million.
Universal announces a new Fast and Furious installment with a new superstar cast member. We have details.
And you should know that I'm not done by a long shot.
Wendy McLendon-Covey is here talking about the Goldbergs, her big birthday shenanigans, and Halloween.
It's bringing up memories, things I haven't thought about in a long time.
Melissa Joan Hart is getting us prepped for the holiday season with her Lifetime movie, Christmas Reservations.
And Jana Kramer and Michael Cawthon give us the update on their People's Choice nominated podcast.
It's a packed show, all live today on People Now. Hey, happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Here we go. Happening.
Got a lot today.
A lot today, and we've been talking about Christmas a lot lately. It continues, but don't worry. We haven't forgotten about spooky season, and neither has Starbucks or Burger King, it turns out. Both are selling some spookishly delicious items. Hard to say.
Yeah, so Burger King now has a Ghost Whopper, which is a regular burger with a special white cheddar cheese flavored sesame seed bun. Yum.
Yes, Starbucks has introduced the Phantom Frappuccino. Ooh. How we feeling? Woo! Okay. It's completely black with some pops of green slime drizzled throughout. The slime is made from a mix of spirulina extract, charcoal powder, lime, and lemon juice in case you want to make it at home. The drink is said to have a tropical flavor, which is a surprising twist.
Yes, it's very sugary.
Yeah.
Sounds sugary. Well, we want to know which one you would rather pick up. Answer in our People poll or tweet us your thoughts using the hashtag PeopleNow.
We're going to check in on that a little later, but for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Jimmy Carter is recovering after falling and fracturing his pelvis on Monday evening at his home in Georgia. According to a spokesperson for the Carter Center, the former president was admitted to the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center for observation and treatment. The 95-year-old's injury was described in a statement as minor, and the spokesperson adds, quote, "He's in good spirits and is looking forward to recovering at home."
At 95 years old, Carter is the oldest living president in American history. This is the third time he's fallen this year and the second time this month. In May, he fell at home and underwent surgery for a broken hip. And in early October, he received 14 stitches to his head and a black eye after another tumble.
Just days after that injury, he led an annual build for Habitat for Humanity in Nashville, Tennessee, erecting and fixing up more than 4,000 homes alongside his wife of 73 years, 92-year-old Rosalind Carter. He is unstoppable, really a person who walks the walk, doesn't just talk the talk. Some really huge projects there with Habitat for Humanity.
His resilience might come in part from facing health troubles in the past. In 2015, Carter was diagnosed with cancer. At the time, he said, quote, "I just thought I had a few weeks left, but I was surprisingly at ease. I've had a full life, I have thousands of friends, so I was surprisingly at ease, much more so than my wife was." Within months of that diagnosis, Carter's cancer was gone after a successful surgery and innovative treatment.
This month, Carter told People, quote, "It's hard to live until you're 95 years old. I think the best explanation for that is to marry the best spouse, someone who will take care of you and engage and do things to challenge you and keep you alive and interested in life." I like that.
Yeah, it's really sweet. The Carters married on July 7th, 1946. They've been married for 73 years and became the longest married presidential couple on October 17th.
All right, moving on to this. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's candid and emotional revelations about the pressures of life in the royal spotlight are being felt by Prince William. BBC reports William is worried about his brother and sister-in-law. This comes after they opened up in ITV's new documentary, Harry and Meghan, An African Journey, about ongoing tabloid rumors, the onslaught of attention, and their lack of privacy.
A palace source told the news outlet that Meghan and Harry are thought to be, quote, "in a fragile place." In the new documentary, which aired on Sunday in the UK and is scheduled to air in the US on Wednesday, Harry revealed just how much the negative press has hurt him and his wife.
Yeah, it was really interesting to hear those very honest revelations. And towards the end of their recent royal tour of Africa, it was revealed that Meghan had launched legal action against the Mail on Sunday for publishing a private letter she sent to her father.
Harry commented on being scrutinized by the media, saying, "Look, part of this job and part of any job, like everybody, means putting on a brave face and turning a cheek to a lot of the stuff. But for me and for my wife, there's a lot of stuff that hurts, especially when the majority of it is untrue." He continued saying, "I will not be bullied into carrying a game that killed my mom." Ooh. He's, of course, referencing the 1997 death of Princess Diana.
He obviously takes it very seriously, something close to his heart there. Harry also referenced the rumored rift between him and his older brother, saying that stuff happens. He added, "But we're brothers, we'll always be brothers. We're certainly on different paths at the moment. I'll always be there for him, and as I know, he'll always be there for me." They honestly just sound like two normal brothers that have their own things, right?
Mm-hmm. Back in April, an insider told People that William and Harry are at very different situations in their lives. According to the insider, the two were always destined for different paths. Harry, who leads with his instincts, sees his older brother as being hemmed in by protocol as the future monarch.
Also in the revealing documentary, Meghan said this, quote, I really tried to adopt this British sensibility of a stiff upper lip. I really tried, but I think that what that does internally is probably really damaging.
Yeah, Meghan went on to tell ITV that she would understand the scrutiny if it were fair, saying, if things were fair, if I'd done something wrong, I'd be the first one to go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I would never do that. But when people are saying things that are just untrue, and they're being told they're untrue, but they're still allowed to say them, I don't know anybody in the world who would feel like that's okay.
You can understand her frustration.
That'd be so frustrating, especially when you know it's untrue.
Yeah, Harry and Meghan, An African Journey will air in the U.S. on Wednesday, October 23rd, 10 p.m. Eastern on ABC. You can check that out. Now we move on to this. Nicki Minaj is a married woman. The rapper announced that she married Kenneth Petty on Instagram Monday. She posted a short video showing matching Mr. and Mrs. mugs and black and white baseball caps with bride and groom written across the front.
Yeah, the 36-year-old captioned the clip with bride and groom emojis and referenced her new official name, Anika Tanya Miraj Petty. And it looks like she's letting us know the official date, October 21st, 2019. She revealed on her Queen radio show on August 12th that she filed for a marriage license and would be getting married in about 80 days. She also said she was really focused on her music, so didn't want the big wedding now, and that the couple will do the big wedding later. And she raved about the idea and her hubby, saying, I'm very happy about that because my baby makes me so happy.
Really nice. And Minaj and Petty have been dating since 2018. They made things Instagram official in December. That's when you knew it was serious. Weeks later, Petty got Minaj's actual birth name tattooed across his neck. Nicki also called him her husband on a radio show.
Then in June, Petty starred in Minaj's music video for her song Megatron. Now, fans interpreted a line in the song as a reference to Petty's criminal record. So he is a registered sex offender in the state of New York and served time in prison for manslaughter after being convicted in 2002.
Many fans have expressed concerns over Petty's criminal past, but Minaj doesn't seem to care one bit. She once defended Petty by responding to Instagram commenters saying, quote, y'all can run my life, y'all can't even run y'all own life, thank you, boo.
According to TMZ, Minaj and Petty have known each other since they were teenagers, and Minaj is confident he has matured.
Congrats to them. We wish him the best. All right, Kim Kardashian-West raving about her husband Kanye West's thoughtful birthday gift. After celebrating her 39th birthday on Monday, the reality star shared snippets of her special day to social media and revealed that Kanye had donated $1 million to charity in her name as a birthday present.
Wow, that's wonderful. She shared the certificate of donation on Twitter saying, I got amazing gifts from my whole family, and Kanye got me the most amazing bags, but he also donated $1 million to my favorite charities that worked so hard on prison reform on my behalf from him and the kids. This makes my heart so happy. Now, her tweet showed the $1 million was donated to criminal justice organizations Cut 50, Buried Alive Project, Equal Justice Initiative, and the Anti-Recidivism Coalition.
All right, Kim also posted a selfie on Instagram Monday where she shared more details about her relaxing birthday. In the lengthy caption, she writes in part, quote, I had the best, most relaxing birthday ever. I spent the weekend with my amazing friends in Palm Springs, then had a family dinner at my house tonight thrown by my mom and Kanye. My favorite Armenian restaurant, Carousel, came and catered. And Carousel, gotta love that shout out, by the way.
And showing off the selfie. Now, Kim shares some of the other tasty festivities with her 149 million Instagram followers. There were churro and beignet stands, plus a flood of people showering her with love and lots of flowers. We know the Kardashians love their flowers. A source previously told People that Kim enjoyed a low-key weekend in Palm Springs with their sisters and friends to celebrate.
The source tells us, quote, it was a girls' trip and just the way she wanted it. On Saturday night, they had a fun birthday dinner. Kim usually doesn't make a big deal about her birthday, so for her, this was perfect. She also had her makeup done for her birthday bash by none other than her billionaire sister, Kylie Jenner.
Nice. According to The Insider, Kanye did not attend the festivities. He was in Jamaica earlier in the weekend. He's also preparing for his album release, Jesus is King, later this week.
Lots of stuff going on with them.
Yes. Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday. All right, here's some big news. The Fast and Furious franchise getting a new installment and a new character with a big voice.
Mega popular Latin singer Ozuna is set to join Fast and Furious 9. Both the 27-year-old reggaeton singer and producer and star of the franchise, Vin Diesel, confirmed the news on Instagram on Monday. Ozuna is the newest cast member to join the franchise's upcoming Fast and Furious 9.
The Puerto Rican native won 2 Latin American Music Awards last week, continues to make a huge name for himself in the music industry with over 25 million YouTube subscribers and videos with over 1 billion views.
Now, Ozuna has acted before. He tested his skills in the 2018 Spanish comedy Que Leon, about a couple with the same last name but two different social statuses.
Yeah, Vin Diesel expressing his excitement on Instagram, posting a picture of himself with Ozuna and director Justin Lin, with the caption, quote, "As you know, we have often found great talent in the music industry to cross over into film. They are expected to leave all the accolades at the door to embrace the character with integrity, and that is exactly what Ozuna has done. Very proud of your work and role in Fast 9. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, the last film, The Fate of the Furious, was the third highest grossing film of the year worldwide back in 2017. The action-packed, adrenaline-fueled series made $541.9 million worldwide during opening weekend. That's so much money.
I'm always a little surprised at how well, I mean, I know these movies are huge, but they are really, really big.
Huge fan base.
Yeah, that 9th installment will roll into theaters May 22nd, 2020. If that's not fast enough for you, a 10th installment is set to hit theaters in 2021. All right, stay with us. You won't believe the special way Jennifer Lawrence's wedding dress was handled before that big day. We've got all the surprising details. Plus, Melissa Joan Hart joins us live from Los Angeles. She's getting us into the holiday spirit with her new Lifetime movie, Christmas Reservations. Stick around for that.
It's an instinct. A feeling. The force brought us together. We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
Oh my goodness, the chills.
Yeah, what a great trailer. It looks like Rey is preparing for an explosive battle in the final trailer of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
The trailer dropped in the middle of Monday Night Football. Fans went wild. The trailer revealing plenty of new footage with voiceover from several characters.
We can't wait to get another epic lightsaber fight for the ages as Rey and her nemesis Kylo Ren face off on what fans suspect is wreckage of the Death Star amid a stormy sea. There are also shots of Rey running through a forest, a tantalizing shot of Rey and Kylo once again teaming up, the Rebel team gunning down stormtroopers, and an ominous and heart-wrenching clip of C-3PO taking one last look at his friend.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of emotion in this trailer, but you know, there is one moment definitely gave me the goosebumps. Watch.
Confronting fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi.
Wow, so yes, you saw it right. That is Carrie Fisher reprising her role as the iconic Princess Leia. The movie marks Fisher's last movie role. She died shortly before the film started shooting. She was 60 when she died.
Yeah, so glad they did this. There was no way that you could really end this saga without her. Director J.J. Abrams agrees. He said in a panel, quote, "The character of Leia is really, in a way, the heart of this story. We realized we could not possibly tell the end of these 9 films without Leia."
Yeah, so how did they make this happen? Now, according to Abrams, they realized they had footage from episode 7, which they could use in a new way. And this fan just could not handle the fact that the trailer dropped on Carrie's birthday, and she has the last voiceover line in it. And we feel you. I had the same reaction.
Yeah, a fitting tribute there. The movie finishes up the Skywalker saga that George Lucas kicked off with 1977's Star Wars: A New Hope. Director J.J. Abrams tells EW in the November issue that it was all about bringing the saga to a close in a way that is emotional and meaningful and also satisfying by answering as many questions as possible, which fans are going to love.
Yeah, adding, so if years from now someone's watching these movies, all 9 of them, they're watching a story that is as cohesive as possible. Now, tickets for the film went on sale Monday, has already broken a record for most sales in the first hour on Atom tickets, surpassing Avengers Endgame. So it's doing really well. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker debuts in theaters on December 20th. And of course, Twitter is on fire with reactions to this trailer.
Not really surprising. This pumped up fan writing hashtag The Rise of Skywalker trailer smashing through your eyeballs.
Wow. Well, this user realized this meant the saga was coming to an end and wrote, "The saga will end. The story lives forever. Yeah, I'm crying."
Yeah, this is going to be so huge. Cannot wait.
I'm just here to celebrate Parents' Weekend with my one child who attends this university.
She's wearing a sweater that's so sparkly and vindictive.
Why are you just saying the things we can all see?
And you should know that I'm not done by a long shot.
Whatever. Your lame attempt to divide us won't work. The sibling bond is stronger than any... What the hell, dude?
Sorry, strange girl, but material goods and homemade treats have won me over. These are peanut butter and butterscotch.
Who's ready to be spoiled by Mama?
Me.
Here we go. Season 7 of The Goldbergs is here. We are joined by the smother like no other, actress and comedian Wendy McClendon-Covey.
Yes, she's here in the studio to talk about life as Beverly Goldberg on the hit ABC series that gives you that 80s nostalgia that's missing from your life. Wendy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Great to talk to you. We were talking about your cats. I want to get into it, but we don't have time. But
No,
let's talk about it later. Okay, you got 6 cats. All right. Melissa Joan Hart directed that episode.
Yes, she did.
And
we love her.
we're going to be talking to her in just a
Yeah.
few minutes. Yeah, what was the takeaway from that experience?
I hate to use this phrase because
Okay.
I can't stand it, but she's a boss babe.
Oh, I love that phrase.
Wait, why
People
don't you like
her.
the phrase?
It's
'Cause I
so
love it.
silly. I don't know. I don't know. But she, you know, there's a big push to have women direct shows, but she's really good at
Yeah.
it and comes from a place of, hey, I've only been doing this my whole life. You know, and she's very collaborative. She knows comedy. She knows how to fling her cameras around. She's just fantastic. We can't say enough good things about her.
I love it. Do you have a specific memory or favorite thing from working with her?
You know, I can't convey how cool I thought this was in the moment, but someone came and gave her a suggestion and she goes, okay, let's do that. No ego. No ego, no like, how dare you?
Yeah.
I'm the director, we do it my way. She's like, whatever is fastest and makes everybody look the best. That's what we're gonna do.
I love that.
Take my ego out of it.
Yeah, good attitude.
In the clip we just saw, Beverly's popping up at college because her kids are sharing a college dorm.
Which is something that happened to the
Yeah.
real Goldberg
Right.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, so that really happened.
They really shared a dorm and, you know, beat each other senseless. But what the episode is called Parents Thursday, which does not exist in society. Okay, it's
But does in
usually
your
Parents
fake
Weekend.
society, right, yeah.
My kids who don't want to introduce me to their friends say, "Oh, it's a Parents Thursday now." It's very low key. So they invite Bev to the campus, show her around the parking lot and, you know, the janitor's closet and say, "Okay, bye." And Bev's like, "Are you effing kidding me?" How dare you? I know what you're doing.
Deeply hurt.
And I know you're behind it, Erica. So after that, she starts lavishing all of her attention on her son
Yeah.
to make
Create
the
jealousy and
you know how that-
favoritism.
Do you
how it goes.
remember
That
like
always
your
works.
most embarrassing parent memory, like something that happened to your parents when you were younger?
Oh, constantly. But I'll pick one. I'll just pick one. If I was out on a date or something and I was being dropped off, say maybe I'm, you know, trying to get a little makeout sesh going on
Ooh, okay.
in the car, you know, whatever.
Like you do, like you do.
You know, we're not gonna go crazy. I remember my mom would flip the lights on and off on the porch, and then if that didn't work, I would find my mother standing outside in her bathrobe tapping on the window.
Wow.
Oh man, was she actually
That's-
courteous to give you the light flash? That was a nice warning.
Yeah, but then, you know, in the nanosecond,
Yeah, right.
you know, that she expected me to.
She's already on the way out the door.
Exactly. She's already out there going, come on, we have church in the morning. So that was fun.
My
I
parents
was
did
real
similar
popular.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they did.
You recently celebrated a big birthday, the big 5-0.
50.
Woo! Congratulations! Saw you on Watch
you.
What Happens Live. Luann de Lesseps called you and like serenaded you basically on the phone.
Serenaded me, and I lived.
Wait, let's watch a little clip and then we'll talk about it.
Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wendy baby.
Oh my God.
So good. She's really laying it on thick there too.
Can you believe it?
That's great, right?
Happy birthday. That's a whole vibe.
Yeah, are you a big Housewives fan? Do you have a favorite
am
franchise?
stupidly involved in all of that nonsense. I can't stop watching.
Who's your
It's a
favorite
medical
housewife?
disorder.
It's a medical disorder.
Well, I don't want to pick favorites,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I greatly enjoy the OC, and I enjoy Dallas, although I'm getting a little bored.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's a lot to choose from. You
Step
could-
it up,
They all
Dallas
go in
ladies.
waves. They got the waves.
They go in ways.
What would 50-year-old you tell 20-year-old you?
Oh, first of all, I just have to say that because sometimes people say, "Would you ever go back?" No. Oh, and if I passed my 20-year-old self on the street today, I would keep walking. I would not acknowledge myself.
Wait, why? In what
I
way?
was just a goon. I was a goon. I had bad hair. I had a terrible haircut. Ugh. Gross, gross. But what I would say is, go on the path that you know you were meant to go down. Don't waste any time. Drop out of college because you don't know why you're there. You know, or go straight through. You know, pick a lane, but you're not wrong for what you want to do.
Wait, so did you always have a sense like, here's what I want to do, but I feel forced into this other?
Self-doubt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the other path? Well, it was like college.
And you know, having babies and you know, living within 5 miles of my parents. Now, I still do live within 5 miles of my parents, but that's my choice.
Right.
I am the boss of me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, the Halloween episode.
That's a great answer.
The Halloween episode is coming up. Features a poltergeist.
Yes.
So is this based on a true story?
This is absolutely based on a true story, and I cannot believe we're just now doing it. But okay, what happened was the Goldbergs, or Bev, brought some nudie paintings home, some fancy French nudie paintings that she got at a garage sale. And then they started flying off the walls or being torn.
What?
And then vases started flying.
They like
This happened.
They ushered in some wild spiritual thing.
Yes. So they brought in a medium who came in and said, oh, wait, there's a little Victorian ghost, little Victorian girl. She is offended by the paintings. Take them down, and this will never happen again.
And they did. And that's the story from the Goldberg family.
Yeah.
Adam Goldberg's family.
And you fully believe it?
I believe it because Adam says it's true. Bev says it's true. Other
That's
people
something.
in the family say it's true.
Yeah.
And Adam, he saw it happen, and he still doesn't believe it. The way he says it is like, you know, some nudie paintings, and they flew off the...
Yeah, throughout the wall,
you know,
things happen. We had some
in front
spirits.
of me, whatever, I don't know.
Let
I
me
don't know
quickly
if I
get to
believe
this before we run out of time. A lot of
Yeah.
great celebrity guests this season. We saw the cast of Cheers make an appearance early on.
yes.
How did it feel to kind of have those people around? I mean, I feel like that iconic moment would have been incredible.
It was. It absolutely was. And Kirsty's been a very vocal fan of the show. So when ABC said, oh, everybody's got to do a cast from the past thing, that was my first choice.
Oh, I'll bet, yeah.
Because I love Cheers. It still holds up. You can watch it on Hulu now, and it's still relevant.
How cool that you got them. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of guest stars, recent episode you're reunited with your Reno 911 star Cedric Yarbrough, who's a lot of fun. When you two get together, what Reno memories come up?
God, you know, I get asked that sometimes, and Reno has now been so,
Far
you know,
in the
it's
past.
so far
Yeah.
in the past that I don't remember a lot of it, and that's a shame.
But it's crazy because a lot of
it
people
was really
are,
fun.
Yeah, and a lot of people are now
Yeah.
rewatching now. It has this new life.
nuts.
Is that
Yeah.
surprising to you?
Yeah, it is. I mean, listen, it sure felt fun while we were doing it, but I have a weird sense of humor, so what do I know?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well,
know,
it's also one of
but-
those things. I mentioned to friends last night that you were coming on. The first thing they said was Reno. Of all the things you've done, it's
Really?
funny how it resonates so much. It's
wow,
wild.
that's interesting. But one of my treasured memories is always working in an actual cop station that didn't shut down for us. So, you know, we would be there filming, and we'd have to like back up against the wall when things would go down.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So that was really interesting.
Reboot?
There's been talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on board?
If I'm allowed to do it, I don't know if
How
I'm.
serious is the talk?
It's pretty serious.
Okay.
But
All right.
who knows? Who knows who's available?
Okay. Well, we hope
Everybody
it happens.
has jobs.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
And congrats on everything that
Thank
you're
you
doing.
so
Check
much.
out season 7 of The Goldbergs, airing Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on ABC.
Jennifer Lawrence didn't take any chances when it came to her designer wedding dress. Her dress got the true VIP treatment and its own special security measures with its very own hotel room.
Heyo.
Can you imagine? The actress married Cook Maroney on Saturday, and compromising the dress was not an
A
option.
source tells People that the bride wore a custom Dior dress that was stored at the Hotel Viking. And according to the source, the whole design team flew in the day before the wedding and held her dress in a private guest room. And the next morning, the entire crew loaded it into the car together.
The 29-year-old actress and 34-year-old art dealer Hart tied the knot in front of 150 guests, and of course the event was star-studded. Guests included Ashley Olsen, Adele, Amy Schumer, and Kris Jenner, to name a few. The wedding took place at a luxurious mansion in Newport, Rhode Island, which is currently owned by the CEO of Alex and Ani.
After the wedding, guests partied late into the night, and they snacked on food from Boston's baddest food truck, and mainly lobster, as they say. But the time the after party started around 12:30 a.m., guests went outside for a little snack.
Yeah, the truck's owner, Kevin Tortorella, tells people that he served guests until a quarter after 3 a.m., but a source reports that Jennifer and Cook partied until 5:30 a.m., until the last guest left. That is some party.
Yeah, they were doing it. In June, J-Law explained that finding a wedding dress, it was easy, and the minute she saw it, she knew that dress was the one.
I thought about this. I think we broke up with each other. It's not like you broke up with me or I broke up with you or whatever.
Yeah, it's just all so sudden seeing you again. You know, it's bringing up memories, things I haven't thought about in a long time.
I feel the same way. Oh, our yearbook. You have been looking at my senior class photo.
Well, no, I mean, how do you know I wasn't looking at David Poe?
Nah.
Christmas Reservations airs on November 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific as part of It's a Wonderful Lifetime. And joining us now from our studio in LA is the movie star Melissa Joan Hart. So nice to see you.
Hi.
Great to see you. So Melissa, you produced this movie along with your mom, Paula Hart. What drew you to this script and the project as a whole? What were you interested in?
Well, we love doing these Lifetime Christmas movies, and they are so well received, and everybody seems so happy when these movies come on. And this one in particular is so fun because my father and I, Michael Gross, who you see there, you might know him from Family Ties and so many other amazing projects, he and I are running an inn, and as people pull up in their cars to come spend the holidays with us, you just instantly see the sparks between everybody. It's very Love Boat style. So, you know, you kind of bring everybody in knowing how these connections are going to be, and you sort of watch them sort of bloom, you know, watch these relationships bloom. So it's really fun.
You said Love Boat. How about some Love Actually vibes? Maybe a little bit in there. What do you think?
That's what the writers had that in mind, a little bit of Love Actually.
Yeah. It's kind of the story about the one that got away. Why do you think that concept appeals to people so much?
That's me and Ricardo Chavera, that was our story. Is sort of like we sort of dated but never really had the time to, and now here we are together. He's a widower with his kids, and I'm still single and taking care of my dad, and so it's that, you know, will they, won't they for that relationship. But there's so many others. Marky Post is in this movie. We've got just so many talented people. Ted McGinley, Gigi Rice, and all these fun relationships that are sort of developing all around. And so you watch all these different storylines happening.
Yeah, like you mentioned, your love interest in the movie is played by Ricardo Chavera, who fans know from Desperate Housewives. And we know that you're a big fan of that show. Did you learn anything fun or interesting from him about the behind the scenes of that series?
I might have gotten a few secrets that I'm not going to share, but no, not really. I mean, it's funny because I had worked with Jesse Metcalf on God's Not Dead 2, and funny enough, I've been directing a lot recently, and Eva Longoria has been directing the same show I've been directing, so I got to run into her recently. So it's funny, it's just sort of, you know, I've kind of been around that cast a lot recently.
Yeah, a lot of connections there. People always ask which Sex and the City character are you, but which of the 4 Desperate Housewives characters would you say you are or relate to most?
I'm the most like Terry Hatcher, I would say, I think.
Okay.
I think.
All right, we'll take that.
I don't know.
We'll take that as acceptable.
I don't know. I've never thought about that before.
Let's talk about this. When it comes to the rest of the cast of Christmas Reservations, you mentioned some, but so many classic sitcom stars in the mix. Married with Children's Ted McGinley, Night Court's Marky Post, Family Ties, Michael Gross. Of course, your many hits include Sabrina the Teenage Witch and many others. Did you guys bond at all, coming from that background, that similar kind of nostalgic background and those types of shows?
Well, I've worked with a lot of them before. So Marky Post played my mom in the movie I did with Mario Lopez, Holiday in Handcuffs. And I've always wanted to work with her again, so this was a great opportunity. And I was thinking about who looks the most like Marky, because she has to play a twin. And Ted McGinley's wife, Gigi Rice, I was working with Ted McGinley on No Good Nick on Netflix last year, and his wife Gigi came on the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks exactly like Marky. I mean, there's a big age difference, but they look a lot alike. So I was like, they have to play the twins, and then Ted can pretend to date his wife, which was fun. and then Marky and Michael Gross kind of have a history, and so it was just this great little. And then we have some teenagers that fall in love, and it was fun. I think the thing with people that have worked on television that's always so awesome is they are such professionals. You know, people that come from the television background just know how to hit their marks, have an amazing work ethic, have a comedy timing, and there's none of that kind of diva attitude, and there's none of that sort of thing that, you know, if you get caught up with people that don't understand production time and production value, and when you're working with people on television, they understand that.
Yeah, switching gears a bit, you watched some of Netflix's new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina for the first time last year for a video with Netflix. Have you gone back and watched more? And also, what's your general take on shows that are reimagined with new casts?
I haven't. I haven't watched any more than what Netflix showed me last year when they videotaped me for YouTube or whatever. It was so fun. it was hilarious. I was with a lot of the cast from our Sabrina watching it and just shocked by the stuff they were getting away with on the new one that we were not allowed to do.
It's very different.
But I haven't gone back and watched it. I don't really think it's for my demographic necessarily. But you know, I think that the reboots, I think there's a place for them for sure. But I also think we're doing too many of them. Like, whatever happened to the original, you know, just coming up with something original. But I think those are the ones that are doing, you know, the ones, when you watch the Emmys and whatnot, the ones that are doing well are Fleabag, and, you know, Game of Thrones, and some of these more original shows that people are developing do better overall. But everybody loves a good reboot, so, you know, they've got to keep making them.
Yeah, getting to a point, though, 20 years from now, there will be nothing to reboot.
Everything is rebooted, yeah.
Let's talk about this. Speaking of,
I have to say, Wendy, you guys just had Wendy on, and I've been directing the Goldbergs. So I just wrapped on her show last Friday. So fun seeing her over there
and
with you guys in New York.
She said you were a boss babe as a director.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's
What was
the best.
What was your
her.
takeaway from doing that show, from working on the Goldbergs?
Doing Goldbergs?
Yeah.
You know, there's things about that show that you don't realize when you're watching it. When you're directing, you have to pay attention to things like in the first 6 seasons, there was like no background crosses. You'll never see people walk in the background. So they'll be at the school hallway and whatnot. Everyone just stands at their locker. Nobody's crossing around.
Interesting.
You'll notice that people just pop in. There's all these magical Goldbergs things that happen. They just pop in. I don't know if I'm giving away secrets for the Goldbergs here or not, but like, you know, nobody like enters a doorway and comes downstairs or whatever. They just, all of a sudden they're there, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that we don't really. Now I will be watching for that. Like, is there a crossover in the background? No, they're not. Anyway.
Yeah. And tomorrow night, the episode the first one I directed this season airs tomorrow night, so you can watch that one.
Nice. All right, you've been very open with us. We want to keep it going. Play a quick round of People Now Confess Us. So super easy. Grab the bowl near you. Pull the paper out and read it aloud and answer the question on each slip.
I hope you've got a bowl there. We trust that they give you the bowl.
Here.
Really, faith.
The time I was most starstruck. Ooh, I met John Travolta at a big party. I didn't realize I was going to this big Paramount party, and all I wanted to do was like go out with my friends that night. And I ended up in this weird little, I wore a little sundress, and Henry Winkler was there, and I met Henry, and I was so starstruck that John Travolta was there, because that was my huge crush growing up. And he took me over to introduce me to him, and I totally embarrassed myself, because I was like, the 20th anniversary of Grease had just happened, and I had gone to the premiere or the screening, and I walked up to John and I said, I saw you at the screening, and he goes, I wasn't there. And I went, no, I know you weren't there. I know you weren't. I mean, I was looking for you, but you weren't there. You weren't there. Nice to meet you, Kelly. I gotta go. And I ran away. So that was
Blew it.
my big starstruck idiot moment.
Yeah. Oh, there's time for more. Pick another.
All right. One thing fans may be surprised to know about me is I curse like a sailor.
That is actually really surprising.
I think that would be. That's probably the one thing people really don't know about me. I mean, I wrote a lot more of it in my book, so if you need to know anything else about me, you can read Melissa Explains It All.
Does that get you in trouble with the kids at all?
I can, because I do things like this, I've learned to control it pretty well.
Okay, right, yeah, the media training works at home
helps.
too. All right, one more real quick,
Yes.
then we'll say goodbye.
The biggest misconception about me is that I'm tall. I always get people going like, oh, you're so little. I'm only 5'2".
Yeah, that is funny. The TV makes, I think there's always an expectation of people being taller, right? There really is. It's like a common thing. All right, all kinds of good stuff.
There's usually mostly short people in television.
Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing all of that and the behind the scenes on the Goldbergs. We're going to be watching for all that. Everybody, make sure to tune in to Lifetime and watch Christmas Reservations. It airs on November 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific as part of It's a Wonderful Lifetime. That kicks off on October 25th, airing 24/7 holiday movies all season long. Check it out.
if you've gone crazy or something, I mean, if you've gone crazy or depressed, I'm just saying. That's something I need to know about. Okay? I mean, that affects me.
I am awake.
What?
Yeah, look at him back in the day, all that hair. Now we're learning that turning Bryan Cranston into his infamous Breaking Bad character Walter White, it's no simple task.
Yeah, the Emmy-winning actor shared a behind-the-scenes video to his Instagram on Monday that showed his process getting into character as the chemistry teacher turned drug lord.
In the video, he's sitting in his dressing room chair, smiling, reading through scripts as his makeup artist goes to work. The process includes prosthetic makeup, a bald cap, and a mustache.
And Bryan captioned the time-lapse saying, "I don't know why filming takes so long. I became Walter White in less than a minute."
Cranston starred in Breaking Bad for all 5 seasons from 2008 to 2013. His role received critical acclaim and earned him 4 Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. There was a lot of speculation for his character in Netflix's El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
So, spoiler alert, he briefly reprised his role for a cameo in the film, which followed Aaron Paul's character Jesse Pinkman after the events of the show's finale.
Along with Paul and a cameo appearance by Cranston, Jesse Plemons, Kristen Ritter, Jonathan Banks, they all reprised their roles from the AMC series as well.
If you haven't watched it yet, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, is streaming on Netflix now.
Here we go. She is a singer and actress. He's a former NFL tight end, and together they are taking their People's Choice nominated podcast, Wind Down, with Janet Kramer and Michael Cosson on tour. Janet and Michael join us now. Great to see you guys.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so
your
much.
People's Choice nomination, was that a surprise to you?
It was a total shock.
Such a surprise. Even our producers said that we might have a chance. We're like, yeah, okay.
We were like,
not gonna happen.
no. And then now we're like, there's no chance of winning, but it's so cool to be nominated. Like,
yeah.
it's awesome.
Well, it's amazing. How did you celebrate when you found out?
So I was on the way to do something for, I was interviewing, and then I was like, holy crap, babe. But then we had dinner, I think just at the night with the kids.
And we just had a glass of wine to reflect on it
chill.
and be appreciative.
Like, we go to bed at 8 o'clock, so we're like,
take it easy. Take it easy.
Boring couple ever. If it's like, the other day we're like, it's 7:45 and we're in bed and we're like high-fiving. It's like the greatest
if you're
night ever.
on board together with that, I think that can be like the best night. It really can
Ever,
be.
yeah.
But if one of you is like ready to go.
I know, and we're like binging our shows right now on Netflix, so we're like having like a great old
Let's
time.
just say this. I think that it's like, how great is the validation of getting nominated, that what you're sharing on this podcast is really resonating with people, and it's serious, it's fun, they're singing, there's a lot to it. What's your favorite thing about the shows that you're putting out?
So the shows, well, I mean, the podcast that we air, I think it's just really great how we're able to obviously be vulnerable, but connect with a lot of other couples and people out there in relationships. But then with the tour, it's really cool. It's like this variety show, and we come out and people are laughing. I'm like, are we funny? Like, I was just like, let's keep going. And then, then we kind of always have a takeaway with the show, for couples out there. And then, I sing. It's just fun. It's a fun night.
Yeah, and you're singing on the tour. You have a
Yeah.
new song out, Good Enough. Why was this a really important song for you?
So I was writing the song, and I feel like every time I've ever ended a relationship, I'm like, why wasn't I good enough? Like, why wasn't I good enough for them? And so I was writing that. And then I was like, no, I should be good enough for myself. It shouldn't be about whether I'm good enough for a guy or whoever I'm with. Like, I should love myself more.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like that anthem.
I love the female empowerment vibes that you put out.
Yeah. I also think that when, I would imagine, doing the podcast and being vulnerable in a studio where you're recording is one thing. Being vulnerable in front of an audience where they react in the moment is a whole other thing, I would think, right? Is your approach different in that way? Do you feel pressure to have it really buttoned up and put together in a way that you wouldn't feel in the podcast?
No, because even on the podcast, our producers honestly love us because they don't have to edit very much, because we just kind of let them, anything goes.
Okay.
So sometimes it's harder on the podcast, I think, because there's not a reaction. You don't see any kind of validation or understanding. You don't see heads nodding and that feeling in the room.
That makes sense, yeah.
Sometimes on the podcast, before it airs, we're like, was that too much? How's that going to sound? And it's all just, it's up in the air until we hear it.
Yeah, you two really put it all out there, and I think that's why the podcast is so successful. You had a recent podcast episode that was very real about an incident that happened.
Yeah.
So basically what happened, Michael, you got a text from a woman, topless photo, and then had deleted it. You found out, and it caused a big issue, and you put this all on the podcast episode.
Well, I didn't even know we were going to do that, because I was just like, we had just found out about it, and it wasn't actually a real person. It was a bot. And a few other people had gotten kind of very similar message. So it wasn't a real person, but at the same time, finding it was what was so painful, because I'm just sick of finding things, whether it was true or not. But I didn't think we were going to talk about it. And usually I'm the one that airs our dirty laundry.
We were 24 hours from her discovering this.
Yeah.
And we did the show going into it. We're like, all right, we just have to get through this. We have to work. Show goes on. Let's be surface level. And then we just started getting into it.
And he's the one that's, I was like, you really want to talk about it? I was like, because usually I'm the one being like, well, this is what happened. He's like, I was like, go ahead. And then it was just like, we were just not ready. And so we definitely regretted sharing that so soon.
As early
Because we just were not together, unified yet. And I was still like confused and hurt. So yeah.
When you talk about it and you aired it all out, it did kind of make sense that you just didn't want to deal with it, so you deleted it.
Right.
But then
I totally get that. And
Yeah.
I 100% like.
Which in a lot of
totally
relationships
get it.
would probably be totally fine. But because of our history and about being trust and trying to regain that, it just didn't work, and that's okay.
Yeah, obviously that colors the whole thing differently.
For sure.
When it comes to just the past of everything you've gone through, you've gotten flack from fans about staying in your relationship.
Yeah.
I would imagine, and I'm sure that you get flack for everything you talk about. People have opinions and they air them and they let you know. How have you dealt with, and particularly how do you kind of like silence the noise of naysayers who are like, what are you doing?
This one was really hard to the point where we had to cancel a few things because I was like, I'm gonna have a freaking nervous breakdown. Like I'm having so much anxiety around the comments because it was the first time that it got to me because we weren't unified and together in a strong place. So I think I don't, lesson learned, don't look at things when I'm not in a healthy place because it only feeds the anxiety. But at the same time, I know he didn't cheat in that instance. I know certain things, so it's like I just have to be like, okay, well, they don't know all the facts. I know, and just trying to stay like what I know is the truth. But it's hard.
It's really hard. And it's also, I mean, anxiety is really real and hard to deal with. What are some ways that you found that kind of helps you with those?
Unfortunately, I had to end up taking medicine for it, but I'm working on a new thing with my therapist called EMDR, which is a sensory way to work through trauma. So I'm working on that, and then just other things too. I mean, I know this sounds like crazy, but like I hate driving on expressways because I get claustrophobic. And what if there's traffic? So I'm like, I just try to avoid it if at all costs. So there's like I just do things to like make sure I'm not like adding more anxiety.
At a different level, when I go over bridges, I have that.
Yeah, no,
Right?
totally.
It's like the huge bridge. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
no,
It's a feeling.
And Jana does a lot better these days of asking for what she needs.
Okay.
In the past, she wouldn't do that. And I also wasn't very receptive because I didn't really understand anxiety.
But he just had his first anxiety attack, not to like.
Hope you've worked through this before. She's outing you on that right now.
Finally understand.
But no, I was like, Michael, you don't, everything, that's an anxiety attack. He's like, no way, I don't have anxiety.
What
I'm
was
a
it
man.
surrounding?
On the first one, I had nothing.
Yeah,
and then
but I'm like,
the
that
second one I had
happens.
was around this recent event where I just felt like I needed to flee. I felt like I couldn't control anything. I mean,
Couldn't
just
breathe,
couldn't breathe. Every
yeah.
symptom you could name, and then for a
Just like,
panic
honey,
attack
that's
I had.
an anxiety.
And so then were you helping him through kind of like, here's the steps?
Yeah, and he was just like,
Yeah, really.
no, I'm a man. This isn't like, I don't get anxiety. And I'm like, babe.
I can control this.
And yeah, he's like, you can't control it. You can, but it's hard. So.
Men have emotions too.
Yes,
it turns out.
Well, you two have 2 kids, 3 and almost 1, right?
Yep, 3.5, and then I can't believe he's almost 1. Ugh, in 1 month, he's again.
So cute. Fans are going to be getting a closer look at your lives as parents in your online series, Imperfect Harmony. You're expanding to 2 nights a week.
Yeah,
so yeah, what are we going to see on this?
Oh gosh, well the daytime show is gonna be more a little bit like reality, and the nighttime show is more like our tour. But you know, again, we're kind of opening the doors into our house, into our home, and just telling you what not to do, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? I truly, from a marriage perspective, I appreciate your openness in painting a realistic picture that, hey, relationships aren't perfect. And imperfection doesn't mean you have to abandon ship, right?
Yeah.
And then with kids, that's a whole other thing, and how you're going to talk to them about it. As they get older, what's your approach going to be in terms of addressing the things of the past?
For sure. I mean, that's one of those things where Jan and I kind of talk about. We don't know what that age looks like, but we're going to be open and honest with them because we want them to feel comfortable. We want them to have all their questions answered, and it come from us and not from outside sources.
Yeah.
Maybe before they start Googling.
Yeah.
That's the thing now is everything on Google.
Well, you also like verbalize these things, so I think you probably know how to address it in terms of like, here's what we
Hopefully
should
by
say.
then we'll even be more united and be like, that was this many years ago as opposed to a couple years ago.
And Julie's only 3.5, but does she kind of pick up when there are disagreements or arguments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, if we start to get a little too animated or loud, she'll kind of act out and say stop or no or don't talk.
Which like kills me. So I'm like, we need to table this immediately.
Yeah.
But again, our therapist told us that kids shouldn't see a perfect household. They should see conflict and resolve. So it's like they should see maybe us disagreeing, but then also coming around and being like, okay, this is how we resolved it.
I leaned heavily into that. Like, they can see us argue.
Yeah.
Like, this is happening right now, and they're fine.
Yeah.
Girls, this is fine. We still love each other. Now listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, not about me. Jana, let's look at this. You posted this picture on Instagram revealing the struggles that you were facing as a mom, and I can feel the pain as a fellow parent. What's been the response from fans to this photo? How do you two approach difficult moments as parents specifically?
So this one's actually been really tough because when I was reading the comments, a lot of people was like, your kids need the belt. And I'm just like,
oh yeah.
So then it became like that conversation, and it's just like, we don't spank, but I had the belt when I was a kid. Did you have a belt? So it's like, personally, like that's just not how we're, like no judgment, but it's
that's
just
not how you're doing it.
It's just very tricky, but it was a really, I think it's the first time I've actually cried from being beat up for my child. But it's like, I tried everything from like consoling her to talking to her to, to timeouts. It's a difficult age right now. So it's just, I felt like I just cried and I needed to cry. It was a tough one for me.
Have you found something that is working?
Well, that was just a couple days ago, so give me like a few more days to try and like figure it out. I don't know if she's just.
We've tried getting on her level. We've tried disciplining, but the good thing
the other night too, Mike goes, as we're trying to like reason her, he goes, "Hey, can I slam the table?" I was like, "No." let me try to like talk.
I wanted to kind of make a statement. I was like, "Can I slam it?" She's like, "No," but thanks for asking.
Yeah. Now, Jolie, please start listening to mommy and daddy. So it's just. We're working through it, but it's hard to have people's judgment too. It's like, oh, your daughter's a brat. I'm like, she's 4. Like let's.
Yeah. And guess what? 4-year-olds can be bratty. That's what they do, sort of.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of
she's my brat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful, though, that you are so open about it, helping a lot of parents out there. So thanks for everything that you do.
Yeah.
Congrats on the nomination.
Woo.
And everyone, be sure to listen to their podcast, Wind Down with Jan Kramer and Michael Costin, and pick up tickets for their tour.
All right, let's take a look at our question of the day. We've been asking if you would rather celebrate spooky season with Starbucks Phantom Frappuccino or Burger King's Ghost Whopper.
Oh, it's a close one.
Oh.
Looks like the Frappuccino won out.
Guys, do you have an opinion?
I don't drink
Whopper all
coffee,
day.
and I'm not really a big Whopper. It's like so much. It's
All
like,
day.
how do you like put your? Never mind.
I think I would
You
go.
said Michael, yours is the Whopper?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike
All
on that
right.
one.
We'll be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now, so tune in for that.
Coming up tomorrow, we're toasting the heroes in our lives with actor Ken Jeong in honor of National First Responders Day.
Plus, we sit down with the cast of Netflix's new series Daybreak. Wait till you hear the dance they taught co-star Matthew Broderick. All right, thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Billy Bob Thornton. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Billy Bob Thornton, and this is the one last thing. The last show I binged was a marathon of The Twilight Zone.
It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
The last irrational fear was of a DVD rack falling over on me. My last big splurge was having a protein bar that had dairy in it because I'm allergic to dairy. I know that sounds pathetic.